Do you enjoy going to backgammon tournaments? If so, the third Greek Grand Prix 2025 is one that you won't want to miss. And I have my two good friends, Tony and Maggie Diamantidis from Greece, joining me to discuss it in this video. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what you'd like to see in future videos, and I'll work on it. If you love backgammon, you can become a member of this channel, giving you exclusive access to the most popular videos. My book, Backgammon Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description where you can get in. If you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is also in the description. Again, in this video, it's my great pleasure to welcome back my two good friends from Greek, Maggie O'Donnell Diamantidis and Tony Diamantidis. Hello.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
Very
Hello.
good. Very good. I'm very good. Thank you for asking. How have you been?
Well, it's been great here. The weather's been amazing and it's beautiful. It's almost it's January, but it feels like spring. It's just great. We've done a lot of traveling. We're back and we're happy to be here. And now we're working on getting this tournament into a really, great event.
That's fantastic. And I know you're in Greece, but what city are you in?
Right?
We are on the south coast of Athens, about 25 minutes south of the Athens airport, about 45 minutes from downtown Athens, in a town called Saronida, which is it's also known as the Athens Riviera. It's a
Wow.
fantastic place. We have a nice place here that Maggie has kind of transformed into a. Why don't you say what you've transformed it into?
Well, we ended up finding this place and it's a little bit bigger than we wanted for our backgammon traveling, but we've turned it into what we call the backgammon refugee compound. So we've been lucky to have so many wonderful backgammon players come through here, stay here, hang out. We've had like mini tournaments and it's just turned out to be a great spot for backgammon nomads.
Fantastic. So I know backgammon is very popular in Europe. What's the backgammon scene like in Greece?
Well, Greece is, the cradle of civilization, and by definition, the cradle of backgammon. I mean, we pretty much take credit for everything, okay? So when we moved to Greece about 10 years ago from San Francisco, and that's when we started playing kind of seriously. Backgammon, Greeks are very passionate about backgammon. They hate when you roll double sixes, but they love it when they do. So there are several backgammon federations, including the one that we belong to in the center of Athens. There are tournaments every month. There is one coming up this Saturday that we're going to, and it's basically a very, very popular activity among people of all ages. And of course, backgammon is on a huge upswing, so it's reflected in Greece as well.
And I know in Greece there are multiple variants of backgammon, like traditional backgammon, but there's also the modern backgammon that we're used to with the cube. Can you tell us about the different ones? I know I've heard of like they have like tavla or something they call it a little different.
Yeah, so table is what they call in Greece and also in the Middle East. That's the backgammon that we play in the States without the doubling cube.
Without, and then there's
So
plakoto.
they call backgammon, they call tavli in Greek, table
Tavli, yeah.
in Middle Eastern. So so that's the one game. Then there is two other very popular games being played in Greece, not in tournaments, mostly in kind of like in coffee shop, head to heads. One is called plakoto, where actually instead of hitting a checker, you trap a checker and have it trapped until you release it. And the deeper you trap it into your opponent's home board, the harder it is for the opponent to win. It's a great game, but very difficult to turn around. So we're in our backgammon, as you know, with the cube, first of all, and in general, the game can turn several times. With this plakoto or cover backgammon, it doesn't quite work that way. And then there is another game called Fevla or Run, which is essentially starting at opposite corners and trying to bypass the other checkers.
Stack all of your checkers on one point.
You don't hit, nor do you trap, but you can do a 6-point prime with a single checker and win a game that way. Maggie doesn't play those games. I haven't played them in years. Our backgammon that we all know is to us far more interesting. So we stick with that.
They do have tournaments for these games, but the way the Greeks do it, they play them in succession. So you play one after the other. You play the three in a succession in order to have a full match.
Right, right. Okay, wonderful. So I'm excited to discuss this tournament, the third Greek Grand Prix 2025. Okay, so we will go through the beautiful website of the third Greek Grand Prix 2025, and this is going to be April 7th through the 13th, 2025, and it's in Mitsis, Galini. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And I remember last year was in Loutraki, and you moved it this year.
That's right. So just a clarification, first of all, so it's two tournaments. So from April 7th to the 9th are the World Team Championships, both for national teams and separately for women's teams, followed from the 9th to the 13th by the third Greek Grand Prix. So it's two tournaments. Teams are coming 7th to the 9th, and most people stay around and others come to play in the Grand Prix the following 3-4 days.
Fantastic. Thank you. And this is beautiful pictures. These are pictures of the venue. Is that correct?
Correct. So this is the venue. It's called Hotel Mitsis Galini, as you mentioned. It's in a location called Kamena Burla, which sort of like loosely translates to burning bushes. And that's an area that's about 2 hours north of the Athens airport. So it's a bit of a hike to get there, but it's a spectacular area. The resort is extraordinary. The weather is going to be great. It's going to be probably in the 70s, or 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, which is 70s in Fahrenheit. And
it's on the sea, right?
And it's near the sea, and of course you can see huge pools and all kinds of other stuff. It's a great place, and also there are some fantastic things to see around there that we may get into later.
That's great. I know a lot of the tournaments will have their venue close to the airport to make it convenient, but when you have something like this in a resort-like destination, people don't mind taking an extra 2-hour drive to the place. There's so much to do, and it's so much more comfortable. So great. Okay, so I'll scroll down and I'll let you guide me through here. Okay, so this is the About section.
Okay, so we already mentioned the dates of the tournament. So April 7th to the 9th is the World Team event for both the national teams, which is men and women together, and then the women's event separately. There are going to be more teams this year than ever before in the history of World Team Backgammon. We are expecting, or we already have signed up 11 women's teams, which is the record in and of itself. And we are targeting and expecting to get about 30 national teams in addition, or 30 countries, which is, of course, going to be a record. We don't have a commitment on that yet, but we're headed in that direction. So that's, Maggie's and my personal goal to make this the biggest event ever. And we have some future goals that if we have the time, we'll get into for making backgammon huge in this country and around the world.
That's
so
fantastic.
The organizer is a Greek guy whose name is Stefanos Haraklias. He's the owner of the Greek Federation's sort of home, which is called Mind Games. And then the director is none other than the great Arda Findikoglu from Turkey, who of course is now considered the greatest backgammon director around. And the organizer of the tournament is the World Backgammon Federation, WBGF, and Bernhard Meyer is the head feta of that organization.
One of the things that I really like about backgammon is that it brings people together from all over the world. You mentioned how many national teams. You have Greeks working with Turks. You have Bernhard Meyer from Austria. So that's fantastic. That's something I really enjoy.
Yeah, one of my secret goals, and I'm announcing it here first, Alex, is to actually get the WBGF to work more closely with the US BGF. There seems to be a bit of a gap there, and I think this tournament will be an opportunity to try and get some conversations going to try and create more unified and not, there's like the event in April is going to be played on top of the Cherry Blossom Festival in the US, which is a big deal. So things are not being quite coordinated.
Coordination is it's a little bit strained, but there's also events going on every month, almost every other week, so the coordination is definitely it would work to have some, some scrutiny on that, I think, a little bit more.
Yes, I agree. I know we have some representatives like Joe Russell and Karen Davis that work with Bernhard Meyer at the WBGF. And I think when I hear these things, I try to look at it as a positive because what that means is there's so much interest in backgammon and it's growing all over the world. You have a tournament here, a tournament there, and there's enough tournaments for people to go. And even when there are multiple tournaments at the same time, people will show up. So I think it'll be fine in the end, but it's a great idea.
Well, I mean, the work that you're doing, Alex, is a tribute to how the game is expanding and advancing and becoming more popular. We were not able to go to the New York Metro last week or 2 weeks ago, and it was extraordinary. And even the work that Remy is doing, bringing young people into the game, is fantastic. And this is happening all over the world. I mean, there's no question about it. The WBGF, the World Backgammon Federation, is also, I guess, a sister of the World Backgammon Internet Federation. And there is a multitude of international tournaments going on all the time. I mean, Maggie and I are currently participating in 3 different tournaments. Actually, I'm participating in 2 because I already got knocked out of the Greek national online tournament. Maggie's still in it. But there is like nonstop action.
Yes, that's fantastic. Okay, so we'll move on to the next section here, the World Backgammon Federation. And this is just some information. The ruling committee will be announced, the venue, as you mentioned, and here is some information. And if people want to download the flyer, they can click here. I will put a link in the description. And then scrolling down, this is a view of, is this the hotel?
Yes, it is.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's quite a place.
And I saw like there are rooms that you could view the sea or the mountains. It looks like you could see that here.
It's definitely it's a resort. It's a resort feeling, kind of like people who like to rest between matches will be able to do so and really be in a calm setting. Some teams that are coming are really large and they actually are choosing to go to nearby Airbnbs, and there is a number of them that are reasonable and nice. So in addition to the hotel, there are other places to stay around the venue.
Very good. Okay, and this is the team that you mentioned, Stefanos. Here, please tell us about him.
Yeah, he forgot to shave in this picture, and so did I. Says Stefanos is an incredible guy. He's actually runs not only backgammon, but he runs chess and Greece and chess and bridge in his organization, and he's kind of busy day and night. He's a real mind games man.
Very good. And then this is more about the venue. Yes, so let me see.
Yeah, not bad.
Let me go back and show the pictures here. Wow, look at that. So these are the rooms.
Yep.
And this is a room. Let's see. Okay, so I guess I'll go back. That's the beach. Beautiful coast. And this is some pictures from the hotel. Look at that sunset. Beautiful.
Yeah, Greek sunsets are something to behold. We were just as we were waiting to talk to you, we were looking at the sunset from our house.
Yes.
Extraordinary.
Very good. Okay.
To Greece, Alex?
I've never been to Greece, but it's on my bucket list to do. Maybe when my kids get older.
Oh, I see. Well, so you're not going to be coming to this event.
Unfortunately not, but I'll be watching.
Okay, good.
And that's one of the like my favorite things is like backgammon, as you know, it's a visual game. And doing these videos and live streams, I think that contributes to the growth of the game. So thank you for doing everything that you do. Uh, so the recommended accommodation is the hotel. And
Right.
as you said, there are some other places. And here they have some very good room rates. The mountain view, people can uh, go through that. And then there's the sea view. So what's the name of the sea that it's there? That's there.
It's in the it's in the north western part of Greece, and it's called the Evian Gulf.
Evian Gulf.
That is, and Evia is like Evoia, and it's one of the largest islands that Greece has, and the Gulf there, that sea is called the Evian Sea, which is sort of an extension of the Aegean Sea.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
And then online booking, people can click right here, and then there's an additional offers of discounts.
Yep.
And then this is the map from the Athens airport. Let me see if I can, okay, adjust that a little bit. So this is the airport where people fly into at the lower right, and then this is the route there, right?
And the gray part is water.
Oh, the gray is the water. Correct, correct.
Yeah, that's water.
And
And
previously, I
the
think,
white piece of land on the right of the water is this huge island called Evia.
oh, this is the island.
Yeah.
Okay. And I remember last year, Loutraki is down here in the lower center, right?
In the lower left, yeah. And Loutraki is a bit closer. It was about half the distance to where this place is. And uh, the town where it is was very interesting. It was in a hotel casino that was okay. The venue was great. The hotel needed some attention, and it hadn't gotten it yet. And the organizers of this tournament decided that it was time to move on.
Very good, very good. Onward and moving to better and bigger places. Okay. So this is, as you mentioned, the seaside resort this is the Gulf of Evia, and this is where it's located and the tourism. Okay. And then we have the sponsors. Do you want to take a moment to recognize the sponsors, please?
So obviously, the first sponsor is the hotel chain that is holding this tournament. They've been very good to the organizers, and they're gonna carry some events. This here is a company called Chemical Safety Software, which is actually a company that Maggie and I operate. And this is the second time that we are sponsoring the event with a variety of offerings. And then this is the municipality of the region where the hotel is, that is also stepping in to help with a variety of events.
Very good. Thank you. And this is Kamena Vorla. Is that the one?
Kamena
Very
Burning.
good. I'm sorry?
Kamena
It means glorious sunsets.
Kamen-
Don't listen to him. It means glorious sunsets, and the town is really excited about being able to host this event. They're they're going to be hosting a gala event for participants, and when you go a little bit farther out of town, you get better room rates, you get a more beautiful seaside venue, and you get excitement of the locals that are so proud and happy to share their Greek hospitality and host this worldwide event in somewhat of a kind of a small town. So they're going all out for us, and that's a great thing.
Yeah, I second that. The Greek hospitality is great. The Greek hospitality in those more rural areas is often extraordinary.
Fantastic. And this is the video from that region.
Just wait for you, my message. It's stronger than the others. Go. Let's to the left, just give it a try. No, it's not. Let's spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. So go ahead and start.
Okay, and then here is where you can click to book the airport and online booking. And now we'll look at the program and schedule. So I know people can read this on their own, but let's briefly go through this, please.
Well, so before we go through it, I just want to mention that transportation from the airport to the venue is something to plan and consider. There'll be sort of taxis and Ubers and private buses taking people, and you can look at this site and they'll tell you what's available. Some of the teams that I've spoken to are choosing to rent cars to get there, and especially those who may not stay at the hotel or stay near the hotel will need a car anyway. Because this is a bit off season, car rentals are extraordinarily inexpensive. Something like, $10 to $20 a day for a car that fits 5 people, which is a lot less than hiring a taxi or even taking a seat at a.
Which is like 50 or 60.
Yeah, well, it's actually quite a bit more than that.
Well, for the van, though.
Oh, the van would be about 60 a person, and the taxis are like 150 euro up. So it's not inexpensive, unfortunately, but the rental cars are. Okay.
Very good. Very good. Okay.
So now in terms of the program, so the 7th, which is a Monday, is the registration of the teams. And in the morning and then in the early afternoon, the first rounds begin. The rounds are, there'll be, 5 member teams playing simultaneously from countries in the preliminaries, and on the women's side, it's going to be 3 members playing 3 matches simultaneously. So it'll be 5 against 5 on what we call the national team. I don't call it men's team because there can be men and women in the national team, but only 3 on the women's side. So the first day is going to be the preliminary rounds, and then those who score the highest will make it to the second round, which is depending on the number of teams. I think it'll be 8 teams that make into the quarters. Then the semis on the second day, which is the 8th on Tuesday, and then on the 9th, which is Wednesday, you will have the finals. So the team events, both national and women's, will complete on the 9th, and that evening we are planning to have a celebration to honor the winners and all the participants, of course. On that same day, the 9th, the Grand Prix is going to begin with some side events, followed by the main events beginning on the following days. And that'll be just a normal tournament where you'll have an open, you'll have seniors, you'll have women's, you'll have doubles, of course, and then a whole bunch of side events that Arda and his team are managing. And we plan to have a couple of surprises, but those are forthcoming.
Okay, surprise. And then, so the tournament's going to go through here, and I know it's not on here, but you mentioned there's a pre-event party at your house on the Athens coast.
Right. So what we're planning to do is for those who will come sort of a day or two before the tournament, some of them will stay with us or around where we are because we're very close to the airport. So we plan to have a celebration with them. I don't know if you know this, Alex, you probably do, but most backgammon players are also extraordinary magicians. So not only is Art Benjamin the mathematician who's been at our house and he's put a couple of amazing events together, but pretty much everyone that you know in the backgammon world, like Mitzi, Sebastian,
Ramos.
who,
Ramos.
yeah, a couple of Greek guys and so on, came to our house and dazzled us with their sleight of hand, being
Card tricks.
tricks and all kinds of stuff.
And memory and things, like,
Tobias is another one. So
Yeah.
they love to play and they love to entertain each other and us. So that's what we plan to have before the tournament begins. And something similar will happen with some people after the tournament ends. Just so you and your audience knows, right after the tournament, a couple of days after the tournament, is the UBC qualifiers, followed by the Nordic tournament in Denmark.
The Nordic
Right.
Open in Copenhagen.
So
And
some
some people are leaving from Greece
to go
and they
straight.
got a couple of days and they're going to go straight there, which is interesting because one of the things about the difference between the Eurocentric backgammon community is so kind of separate from the Americas, North and South America. And one of the benefits is if you do come to Greece, for instance, and make the trip across the pond, it's not that far to go and hit up another major tournament, which is the Nordic Open, which is Mark Olsen's tournament. So we are going to have some people sort of transitioning, and we'll have an event at our house in between for people who have a day or two between the Greek tournament and heading to the Nordic Open.
Yes, I spoke with Mark recently, and that's going to be around the Easter holiday. And so, how long is a flight from Athens to Copenhagen approximately?
It's about a 3.5 hour flight from the Athens airport.
Okay, not too bad. Not too bad.
Okay.
Very good. Okay, so this is the schedule. We'll move on. Some of the important notes. There's a list of bulleted things. I guess the people can read on the website. We don't need to go through all the details here. But then here are all the entry fees. So I'll let you go through that.
Just send all the money to us and don't worry about it.
Send the money. So this is like the entry fee, and there's a registration fee. So there's
as you can see, there is team fees at the top, which is the entry fee and the registration fee, which is not typical. Then you have the Grand Prix, which is Masters in the Intermediates, Super Jackpot. You can see the numbers on the screen, and then doubles, where I never let Maggie play with anyone else but me because she's a world champion.
yes.
I'm not.
He's lying.
It's true.
He played with Mochi in Venice.
That was before you were a champion.
Okay.
And then there's going to be women's, even though it's not listed there, and there's going to be seniors. Now, as you may know, Maggie and I played in Miami last month, and Maggie won the World Women's Backgammon Cup, and I won the seniors. So I said that Beauty and the Beast won those events.
Congratulations. So you qualify for seniors, Tony?
I wouldn't go there if I were you, Alex. So it's I definitely qualify for seniors. Maggie, I think, qualifies for the babes. Okay, so
I remember somebody one time asked, like, there was another tournament where the seniors was 60 plus and the juniors were 59 and under, and so someone asked, why is juniors 59 and under? And I said, in backgammon, 59 and under is juniors.
Yeah. Well, when I saw Carter playing in the seniors, I was like, what? What are you doing in here?
Yeah, well, somehow I ended up, we were in Monte Carlo, of course, the last 2 years. Maggie won the women's world championship in 23, and then we went back in 24, and I finished third in the seniors in Monte Carlo, and then last month I won the seniors. So it's starting to sort of shape that I'm going to be a seniors type of a player, whether I like to or not.
Okay, a title is a title, right, Alex?
Absolutely, absolutely. So a couple of questions here. Are there side pools here, or is just the main entry fee?
Oh, there's going to be are there going to be side pools? No, there's not going to be side pools in the European tournaments in general. There aren't side pools, Alex.
I see. Okay. And what about a Calcutta? You said you're
No
going to have
Calcutta. No Calcutta.
No
Same,
Calcutta. Okay.
and they haven't quite caught on to that the way we do it in the States. I think is quite a bit more entertaining. Of course, in Monte Carlo, they have a lot of side betting for players, but again, that's outside. That's done by sort of by a private group rather than the tournament itself.
Right. And here at the bottom it says 100% of the entry fees will be added to the prize pool, of course. And the registration fees include trophies and the award ceremony. So that's fantastic. And here are the match lengths. So we can see in the teams, there's 11, 13, and 15 in the later stages, and then the Masters are 13, 9, and 5 in the last chance, and then they go up to 15 in the semifinal and final for the undefeated, and then 11 for the second chance. And they're a little bit shorter matches here. And then these are the matches for the jackpots, the doubles, and so forth. And all of these are clocked, is that correct?
Of course, always clocked.
Is it the standard 2 minutes per point with a 12-second delay with the exception of doubles?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Yeah, doubles it's a little bit longer to allow for consultation, is that correct?
That's correct in general, yeah. I mean, we just went through this, of course, in Miami, and yeah.
Oh, so you went to Miami?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's where Maggie won the Women's Cup,
Oh yeah, that was a fantastic tournament. Avi did the first time. It was like so many people, unbelievable.
Yeah, it was great, and they had a wonderful gala event where everybody went, and it was Greek food. It was at a Greek taverna, so it's like, good. We're just gearing up. We're practicing
Great,
for
great.
the Greek tournament.
Avi was extraordinary in the organization of the tournament. I'll say this out loud because he knows the hotel where the tournament took place was unfortunately under construction and not at its best. But the event he ran was extraordinary, and
Right.
heart and his soul was in it. And I can tell you, he's my new favorite tournament organizer.
Yes, he's fantastic. Okay, and here is the prize distribution. So people can read this. This is for the team championships. And then the Masters. There's winner, finalist, third, fourth, fifth, sixth through ninth. And then the intermediate here. And then the doubles. So that's that. And then what else? This is where people can contact you. Contact
Right.
information.
Right. So for the, anything related to the event, of course, there is contacts on this page you're showing, and they can contact me directly on Facebook or on WhatsApp. I've been talking to, dozens and dozens of people and teams in the last few weeks. Very, very excited. And I think this is going to be an extraordinary event. I think that for all of the people who can come, please do. You will not regret it. And I'm still hoping to have teams from every inhabited continent come. We would include Antarctica, but we went there and all there is penguins that Maggie hustled out of Manhattan. And then, we're looking, there's a possibility to get a team from South Africa, one from Australia, and one from China. Those are not confirmed, but they're all in play.
South America.
And South America, right.
Very good, very good. So I think we went through everything on the website. Is there anything else we missed from the website?
I don't think so. I think everything you showed is appropriate. I think people get all the information. The main thing, Alex, is we try to be very communicative to people that are thinking or planning on coming. And, this is something that sometimes slips, through the fingers of other organizers. We are doing our very best to answer every question and to accommodate every need. For example, someone recommended that because last year in the World Team Championships, there was only a single stream, they were frustrated because there were simultaneous important finals going on. And I arranged, with the help of Arda and the tournament organizer, and also Bernhard from WBGF, that we're going to have 3 streams going on simultaneously all the time. And that's actually a big deal in my mind. Bill Riles does this amazingly in the US. It's not quite as organized here. So we're doing our best to make that happen.
So that's fantastic. Something we didn't mention, live stream is just fantastic. So what is it's going to be on YouTube? Is that correct?
It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on a link from the WBGF. We will obviously announce and publish all that as they happen. But our goal, not our goal, but our stated plan is to have 3 streams going on all the time. One always being with commentators and the other 2 mostly without. There'll be events where we'll actually put commentators, but the idea is we'll have the 3 matches going. So we'll catch all of the important events, whether it's women or doubles, or of course all the team championships.
Live stream is an outstanding way to promote the tournament. So that's great. I wanted to thank you and congratulate you for all of your hard work, your dedication, your hospitality. You're just great ambassadors for Backgammon. Very good. So do you have any final comments before we conclude the video?
Well, I'll make a final comment and then I'll let Maggie talk. So we're trying to be very creative. So last year, Alex, at Lutraki, Maggie and I arranged to have the 2 super grandmasters of backgammon in history play an exhibition match, which I know you then analyzed yourself. But that's sort of like when you have opportunities like that, you don't miss them. So for us, this was a great thing. Both Mochi and
Dear Sheeman.
German friend.
Dear Sheeman.
Dirk, sorry, Dirk. Yeah, that's why I play in the seniors.
Toby?
Dirk.
Marcus?
So Dirk and Mochi took this very seriously, and Dirk won both the PR and the match. And Mochi was not very pleased with the result because he is, you know, a champion and a very proud man. So we take these opportunities very seriously. So what we did last year was great. We'll do some new things this year that you'll enjoy and everybody will enjoy. And I just want to say that not too long from now, there's going to be an event that's going to be the largest backgammon event in the history of the game happening in this country. More details to follow, but again, I'm announcing it here first, and I'm telling you, it's something to behold. That's
fantastic. Congratulations, Maggie.
So I'm hoping to have some nice, really gala events, and especially some special welcoming for the women teams that are coming in. I'm heading up the Greek women's team, and you know, we're opening the door. We're trying to make it very important for the women to participate. And as you know, just because the whole game has been male dominated for so many years, that we do believe that extending an extra space for women to participate is going to encourage more participation, and therefore, you know, make the game more, I think, more fun and have a different angle. So we're going to be doing something very special for the women's teams that are coming, and yeah, and I hope to just welcome the world with open arms.
Well, I just want to mention, since I have to, there were last year was the first year that women participated in the World Team Championships. This is the second year. There are already more teams this year than there were last year. And for the first time, we're going to have a Greek team headed by Maggie, a Turkish women's team. So, plus, of course, all the Japanese will come, the Americans will come. The Scandinavians will all bring teams, the Germans, the French, and it's going to be great.
Right, and there's women that will be competing on both teams, because women are included in the national teams as well, but we do have this carve out for women's events specifically and intentionally to encourage more women's participation. And that's my answer when people constantly ask me, why do you have a separate event for women? I was like, because we need more women involved. That's why.
Yes, yes. I want to commend you on that, because I have a personal initiative to get more people to play backgammon, in particular underrepresented demographics such as women and also youth. So this is fantastic. Thank you for all your efforts. All right, so wonderful. So that has been a discussion of the third Greek Grand Prix 2025. It's going to be April 7th through 13th. The first part is going to be the World Backgammon Federation Team Championships, and then the main event. we'll go ahead and conclude the video. Thank you to the viewers for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what you'd like to see in future videos, and I'll work on it. If you love Backgammon, you can become a member of this channel, giving you exclusive access to the most popular videos. Again, my book, Backgammon Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get it. And if you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is also in the description. I look forward to seeing you in future videos. And until then, keep rolling your dice.